Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Glad you could join us today. As you just saw, I just showed you a little bit of what we got lined up for today. Got a couple of big trees I got to take out of the woods down there. That'll be the last of my big logs to pull out of here that I got cut down. And I just wanted to take you on a little tour of the log yard here, show you what I've been up to. As you might know, I haven't really been making videos for the last few weeks, and that's primarily because videos take a lot of time to do. And well, fall's here and I'm trying to get some stuff done before I run out of time. And one of my big projects was trying to get this log yard and organized so that we can produce some lumber and also cut some firewood. I've been doing a lot of work in here in the yard here, kind of getting things organized and set up so that we can do a little more production without having to stop and clean things up every couple of days. Obviously the slab wood was the biggest issue with the sawmill. Makes a lot of slabs and it's hard to deal with if you let it get piled up too much. But I think I've come up with a pretty good system for dealing with them, and I'll go over it in more detail as time goes on and as I get some logs to cut here. But basically the slabs will go onto this pallet right here, and from there I'll pick them up, and some of them will end up over here where they'll get processed for firewood. This is a firewood pile right here, and some of the flat slab stuff will end up in this pile right over here. And by flat slab, I just mean there's some pieces that come off the mill that are just flat on both sides and they got rough edges, and it may come in useful for something in some project at some point. Over here I got the firewood processing area, I guess you'd call it. And if you may have watched one of my previous videos, you may have seen where I tried a kind of prototype setup where I used a little trailer and some other stuff I had laying around the yard. Basically what I learned from that whole process is that if I can get everything up off the ground, it just makes life so much easier for working, instead of having to cut stuff down on the ground and then pick it up and then put it on the wood splitter and then put it. And you know, I'm not whining about all the work it takes to process firewood, but in my mind, the more I can streamline the process, handle it less, the better and easier it is going to be long-term on us and our body. So basically the idea is, this is all pretty much, there's a couple pieces, you can see that's a piece of pine, but this is pretty much a hardwood pile that we have. And this is all hardwood that we've taken off of the property here over the last couple of years. I'm going to show you where I pulled most of this from here in a minute. But for now, I stacked it up over here. From here I can forklift it over, use the forks on the tractor I should say, and we'll stack it right onto here. This stuff's on the ground just getting ready to get put up on here once we get sawing. But from here we'll cut these into rounds. I'm going to stack the rounds over on this side here, and then from here we have our wood splitter set up over here, and the wood splitter will be turned out a little bit so that, because this is the wood splitting side, on this side over here is where the handle is, so we'll pull this out a little bit, and then from there we just turn around and stack it onto these pallets right here. And then from there I go ahead and I can store it in the yard here and get it stored for when we need it for this winter. So that makes a wood processing area pretty nice for a couple people that are trying not to get too worn out processing firewood, I guess you'd say. So of course, one of the big things I want to be doing as soon as possible is, I've been talking about this forever now, is building a roof over the sawmill. And there's a sawmill right there. And I've been working towards that with cutting all that lumber you see in the background. Most of this wood that we have over here are the trees that we just pulled out, I should say I just pulled out behind here. And this whole area was cut down about a year ago, and I'm finally just getting around to getting it all cleared out. You can see over here in the back, that's where we were a while ago with those two big trees. Those are the two last ones I have to pull out. That's going to be my project for today. And if we can get that taken care of from there, we're going to get on to firewood and making some 2x4s. Again, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's get to work. All right, here I am. These are the two trees I got to try and take care of today. And these are two big pine trees. I'm going to take some measurements here to just show you what we got. This one over here, I cut down probably about 3 or so years ago, and it's been sitting there. This one here, we cut down about a year ago, and it fell on top of this one. So I got a little bit of a situation because I don't want this one here to roll down into that area. It's going to make it more complicated to get it out. But I got to do it in sections that I can handle with the tractor, so I got to be careful with what I cut off for sizes. So let me take you and show you basically what we got for length and size of these trees here. A couple of crows distracted me. They're fighting for a piece of food or something. Make some weird sounds. Anyway, so let me go take some measurements. I'm going to show you what I'm dealing with here for logs, and we're going to go ahead and get these cut up so we can get them pulled out of here. Now, I'm hoping the diameter of this isn't too big to get on the sawmill, to be honest with you. The LM30 takes a 30-inch diameter, and I think this one's going to be pushing that. I got to jump down to this one here. I got to be careful because the bark on these trees is pretty well rotted. So that makes it a little slippery if you're not careful. But I'm pretty sure-footed. Watch me fall now. I'm gonna jump down to that stump right here. All right, let's just take a measurement here. You can give you some idea how big this is. It's about a size 9.5 here. All right, what we got here? Well, not too bad. I think we got about 24, 25 inches with bark there, 24 inches. That's 2 foot. There's the end of it. And you can see it's pretty far up off the ground. It's probably, let me get a measurement here. I'm probably looking at, let's see, it's a couple feet off the ground just on this end right here. You can see the ground drops off right here. Let me jump down here and show you what it looks like further back. Well, these are the logs I'm going to be getting out today. Let's see how big this one is here. 25. Looks like about 25. I'm about a couple feet off the ground here from the bottom of the log. And what happened was when this one fell, obviously you can see it fell on top of this one here. So just to give you some idea, this is the one that's sitting on top of this one over here. This one, I haven't measured the end of this one. It's about the same size as that one. I'm going to guess about that same 24 or so inches. And I'm going to go ahead and take a measurement of the length right now just to see what we got for length. Kind of curious. It's not all going to be good for lumber, but it'll be interesting to see what we have for total board feet here. So I'll get my tape measure out and we'll see what we got for length. Okay. Let's see if I can get a measurement on this. Okay. I don't know if my microphone will reach here. We're gonna find out. My tape measure only goes to 50. Oh, stop. 41. How come it stopped? My spring doesn't want to let go anymore. So we're going to 41 to that hole right there, 41. Wow. Oh. All right, so that's about calculate about a 90 foot pine tree with a 25-inch diameter base. Got a pretty good kink in it right here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that right there, take this piece out, and I can cut that into 2 pieces, and I can go ahead and cut that into 2 pieces. My concern is this end over here, being that it's up off the ground and it's pivoting on this spot right here. I'm afraid if I lighten it up too much on this end, that end will go down, and as you saw, it's a couple of feet off the ground. If that goes down, this whole end here was going to just swing uncontrollably out of the way, creating a very dangerous situation potentially. So I got to figure out how I'm going to secure that end over there from moving once I lighten this end here. I don't want it to move until I can get the chain wrapped around this and get it hooked to the tractor. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over on this end over here. I'm going to cut this into 2 pieces. And before I get this end too light, what I'll do is I'll secure this end from moving as much as I can. Maybe get the tractor hooked up somewhere in here, make my next cut, make sure this doesn't move. And then I can go ahead and make the cut over here to pull this piece out of here, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's the best plan I can come up with anyway. Like I said, just want to make sure that end doesn't get away from me, causing this end to go flying in the air, hurting me or something. All right, let's get started. Okay, here's my solution, hopefully. Now, I may be taking more precaution than necessary because this tree may not want to roll at all. It may come forward. I don't know what's going to happen when it releases. I don't want to take a chance on being hooked to it. And if I'm not hooked to it, then like I said, I'd take a chance of it just basically rolling off the side of this. It's going to make it a lot more complicated to get it out of here if that happens. So I'm going to see if I can wrap this chain around here to this log, to this tree. And that way there, the weight of this one here will keep this one hopefully from pivoting and rolling down this way once I start cutting the end off of that side there. And that's why I don't want to cut it too short, because I'm really looking for trouble if I end up cutting it too short this way and lightening it up too much there, causing this end to go down. So I'm trying to keep my weight over there, but be able to get it up, down off of this log, pull it out on that side over there of these trees that are, I don't know if you can see them on the side over here. So see if this chain's long enough. Wrap around here. If not, I got another one. I think it's gonna work. Maybe I'll debark these here so I don't have a mess to pick up in the log yard. It just makes it slippery. But there, I got a chain around it here, and hopefully that will be enough to keep it from sliding backwards. All right, let's go cut the end of this tree off. We've had some really nice weather for fall here in southern Maine, and I've really been trying to take advantage of it. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I haven't been making videos. I've been doing some recording, but it just ends up taking a lot of my time. So a job that would normally take me maybe a day, once I do all the videoing and editing, I'm actually looking at a couple of days in terms of the amount of time it takes for me to get something done. So that area that I cleared out took me about 4 days, but if I had been filming the whole thing, it probably would have only got about half done. And I'm just trying to take advantage of the weather while I have it. Unfortunately, something's got to give, and the video is what ends up not being able to get done out of everything, unfortunately. So once I get caught up and I'm able to breathe a little easier here before the snow gets here, then we'll be hopefully getting back to making more regular videos. And got some good projects coming up. I'm gonna be doing one with the mud mixer hopefully here before winter. Gotta put the camper away for the winter, and a bunch of other little projects I'm gonna try and get finished up. I guess I'm gonna make 2 cuts here just to get it out of here. Get the saw warmed up. I got my Husqvarna 1989 268 XP. That went really well. Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and haul that one right out of here now. And get the tractor warmed up and get that out of the way. I have to do that because I have to get this next piece out of the way so that that next piece can fall down without hitting this piece here. At least that's the plan. Okay, success. First part of the tree. I don't know, maybe that's the top part obviously, so it's not too heavy. Probably about 40 feet. All right, now I've got to get this out of my way so that I can work on this remaining piece here. Like I said, my plan is I'm going to cut it somewhere up in this area here, and this will be my next section. But when I cut this, I don't want that heavy end over here to drop down. You've been following what I've been trying to say. Once I get rid of this weight here. So now that I've got this chained off, I'm going to get the tractor chained around this end here, and then I'll go ahead and make my cut there. That way when this drops down, the chain will already be around, and hopefully it won't want to roll that way and pull my tractor up another way or something. Well, we'll see how this goes. Let's see. Get this piece out of here first. All right. First thing I want to do is put these on. Find it just easier to control the log.
Nobody knows what happened that day, but everybody says it was insane. It was insane. It was insane. Nobody knows what happened that day. Oh yeah. Girls were dancing and the boys drank rum. Music was loud, so much fun. Boys drank rum, so much fun. Girls were dancing and the boys drank rum. Listen, girl, talk to me. Forget your parents, come and live with me. Live with me. Live with me. Come on, sweetheart, live with me. Hey. Her father was working in a factory. Her mother said, child, listen to me. Take your 100 pounds and leave the house. She left quiet like a mouse. Oh, yeah.
Logs are slippery. Well, unfortunately, I had camera production problems the rest of the day. Battery died on me, and I wasn't able to get any more video for that day. I was able to get all the rest of those trees out. And here's the area where those 2 trees were laying down. And I still got a little bit of cleaning up to do. I've already done a little bit of stumping over here. But basically, I can do a little bit of leveling and cleaning up, but for the most part, everything is completely cleaned out. Got all the big trees out of here. Came out nice. And what you see here is basically what I pulled out. As I said in the video, these shorter ones in the front here are 10 foot, the longer ones are 20 foot. And for the most part, I was able to just grab one end, drag them out, and then pick them up with the forks and bring them over here. So we're gonna wrap up this video. This gives me, as you just saw, plenty of lumber to start making some lumber with. And I finally get everything cleared out of the back here, everything that I've been cut down for many years. Some of it had been cut down for many years, some of it only for a year. But this is the result of it, and we got quite a bit of hardwood over here too behind you. There's quite a bit of firewood we got out of this, and quite a bit of firewood still that we haven't pulled out of the yard here that we've already cut down. So at any rate, that's going to be it for this video. I apologize for not being able to show you me pulling the rest of this out. There was no injuries, no damage to the tractor. Everything came out great, and I was quite impressed. The Mahindra 2638 performed flawlessly again. It's all about knowing how not to push it too hard. You can definitely see where if you do something wrong, the whole thing could end up being damaged pretty badly, so with heavy logs like this. At any rate, again, thanks for joining us for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the next video, which is making some lumber and getting the sawmill loaded up. And hopefully, we've got a couple other projects we're gonna try to get done here before winter comes and before the snow flies. We're mid-October, so hopefully we still have a little bit of time here to get some stuff done in the yard before the snow comes down, including firewood and some other projects. But for the most part, we're really lucky that the weather has been holding out, and it's been very beautiful. As you can see, there's actually still a lot of green on the trees, which is kind of surprising for even here in southern Maine for mid-October. And from what I'm told, there's parts of the state where it's kind of the same, other parts where they've already been hit with frost and the leaves have already come down and changed over. So I'm gonna go look for my dog. Again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye. Ellie! Good girl, stay here.